Hey everybody, it's Katherine. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad to have you. So we're going to be doing a little bit of beauty today. So it's been a long time since we've done beauty, so let's get back to it. I have been wanting to do this one for a while, so let's do it. Today we're doing my top 5 things that Wayne Goss taught me, top 5 tips that I ever learned. So for those of you who are new to my channel, let me just do a very, very short review of what Wayne Goss has done for me. So when I became, when I first started getting sick about 8 years ago, my health started going downhill. I started getting really dark eyes underneath my circles, and I needed to hide it for work because back then I thought I needed to still keep working. And basically I was like, I don't know how to hide it, and no one at the makeup counters could teach me how to hide it. And so I started going online. And I had no other option. And so I started looking and looking. And finally, I found myself on YouTube. And I started going through all these different artists. And I even found myself on Nikki tutorials. I finally felt, and it was like way, way back when she, like early stuff before, like she's making more than Kim Kardashian from, she's got a better salary than Kim Kardashian now from all the makeup. But anyway, but it was early on, and she had said that she didn't want to show us all like how much makeup product she used to get the look that she had, because she was so embarrassed about how much makeup she used to get that look. And I remember my husband coming home and I was like, you've got to see this video, because I had seen that look before because I lived in California and I'd seen this like JLo glow or whatever. And I was like, can you believe how much makeup this takes? And now, of course, now people, she uses twice as much because, it sells a lot of product and things like that. And it works, it works on a stage if you're doing a certain kind of show. That's how much makeup you need if you're doing that kind of a show. But for the rest of us in the general population, like she wasn't doing that kind of makeup back then. And I kept looking because that was just like one thing. And I didn't want to wear that much makeup. I was just like overwhelmed by it. But I just wanted something for my dark circles. But I was getting into the YouTube community, and she basically convinced me like this at least people are teaching things that actually, they're teaching me the real things that actually get you results. And so eventually I found Wayne Goss, and thank goodness, right? Thank goodness we found Wayne Goss, and for a lot of us, I think. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So he basically helped me learn how to do my makeup, and I'm not great at it now. I look like the bomb.com, like for a while there. No one thought I was sick. I looked absolutely stunning, and for a while there, I have some headshots where you would never know that I was sick. Never know. Like, for example, if you look at my Christmas movie, like that is when I go full glam, like full, like Wayne Goss, everything I learned on YouTube, look fully healthy and things like that. So you can cover it all up with makeup, power of makeup. Because when I don't wear makeup, you guys think I'm dying, huh? So let's go ahead and I just was too sick to really go full tilt. I can't always go full tilt for you guys. But let's get into what the top 5 things are that I learned from Wayne Goss that just from over the years, like I have found to be super, super helpful to me. And of all the videos I've watched, I just was like, I haven't found anywhere else. They just were like it for me. So these are the top 5 things that I still have. Just thank you, Wayne. Like, thank you. If you see it, thank you. So the number one, well, I don't know if this is in any ranking order or whatever, but the one that comes to my mind most often, and maybe because it has to deal with all makeup in general, is his video on what to spend money on. And maybe that's just because our money went down, or it just helps. Like I look through my makeup products and I just like, thank goodness, because I implemented it so quickly when, the medical bills just skyrocketed and our money just tilted or whatever. That video just came into play big time. So his video on what to spend money on, like what to spend money on makeup, he has a video on like what you should spend on and what you shouldn't spend on. And he basically has excellent reasoning. He says, I'll give you a perfect example. He says, like lip pencils. He's like, don't spend on lip pencils because, and this is very important, he gives the reason that most lip pencils, like they are all made in like the same manufacturer. Like the same manufacturer makes all the lip pencils. And I was like, huh, because like I have my lip pencils right here. Like these are all my lip pencils. And as you'll notice, like I have got, you know, like I've got ColourPop here, and then I've got fake NYX. This isn't even real NYX, or maybe it is real NYX. I don't know. But I bought this after, like, I saw his video. Like I just got like a 12 pack or something somewhere, Amazon or eBay or something. I wouldn't go on eBay anymore. I don't even know if Amazon, because they've all changed. They all kind of like, they're kind of scams now. Something's really changed on both of those sites where nothing, it's gone really, really bad on there. I would buy things in person if you can. If you can. Like, I can't get out of the house, but if you can, I've really, really tried to buy in store now, because you can actually return it. And because now they're kind of selling off the things that don't work. Like, we order trash bags off of Amazon and they all rip, like they all rip in half. Like, and we don't know that until we open the trash bag thing, and then they rip in half and they have bag openings, and it's just like they're offloading the bad stuff on Amazon. It used to be where the boxes were crushed. That doesn't matter. But the actual goods are spoiled now. And like the shirts that we got on Amazon when I was losing weight, I used to get like $5 or $10 shirts or whatever. And I was finding this is actually one of them, like $10 shirt, which is actually $35 shirt. And it was real quality. It was an actual like ink by Macy's, like a real shirt. And then within the space of a month, everything, it had like things, sleeves sewn together and holes in it. And I was just like, what, like within a month, every order was that way. So I wouldn't recommend it anymore. But then I have like, you know, MAC pencils, and I started paying attention. You can see I have this, when they get really low, I want them to stick out of the jar. So I'm industrial. So that I can still see it, so it doesn't get down in there. So I stick little things on there so it still sticks up, if that makes sense. So they're all even. I can still see them all equally. Anyway, so, but I noticed that I started comparing them, and I don't find myself choosing between the pencils. They are all the same. They are almost identical. There really isn't any difference in performance when it comes to lip pencils and what they need to do. And I was so glad he gave me that tip, because, you know, spend the difference between $22 and $2 on a lip pencil. So I was like, thank you. And so he gave that tip for all these different makeup products of like what you should spend on and what you shouldn't spend on, and the reason why, like why one thing costs and why one thing doesn't cost, and really where, and you know, tip of like they're all made at the same manufacturing company. How are we supposed to know that? And that's exactly what YouTubers used to do for us. And Wayne Goss did that for us. And I'm so grateful, Wayne. Thank you so much. So number 2 was actually the nose contouring video, which I don't know if it'll help you guys at all. But the nose contouring video was helpful for me, because we all learn these contouring things of like just etch here and just etch here. And, you know, that's what we're supposed to do. When he did the nose contouring video, I learned that, oh, there's all these different nose shapes. I did a terrible job contouring my nose today. It's gone. You can't see it, like the light is just, I'm sorry, I'm in a new background again because my husband had to stay home from work because of the weather. And so can you see, like you get to see the new fabric? So the fabric that we got, that's what we do because I can't paint the house and I can't do wallpaper because of my illness, but I can pin fabric up on the wall. That's how I can change the walls. So that's what I do. And if you have dark walls that close you in, like this dark, like closes me in. And remember, I said, like when you're trapped in the house, it can feel like a jail cell. So you have to, if you can get out, like twice a year I get out, I buy fabric, and you guys have been amazing. And so I buy fabric. And so see, like that just, this versus this. Do you see? Like my jail cell just got a whole lot better. Okay, so the nose contour. So basically when he opened up my eyes to the fact that there are a lot of different nose shapes, I really wish I could say like, oh, I learned my nose contour and now I know what to do. No, because I didn't know my nose shape. I was just like, well, what nose shape am I? Like, how am I supposed to know what my nose shape is? I have no idea what my nose shape is. But what it taught me was that it's not just supposed to be like straight down. Like straight down doesn't work for everybody. And what I started doing was I started studying all these different faces and everything like that, and started learning like what is a face like mine. And I even learned that like my face shape, there isn't all those classic face shapes that they say. Like mine isn't even a classic face shape. Like it's half one face shape and half another face shape. Like those are just general. Not everyone is one of those face shapes. And that really opened my eyes. And he kind of opened that door for me to learn that. And eventually I learned that I have like, there's one celebrity. And so now I know to go like in, and I actually go in this way. for my nose contour, but I finally found a celebrity with my nose shape. Like their pictures kind of look like mine. They kind of do their makeup like I do, that I've learned worked for me. And I kind of hunted down a celebrity that had a face shape like mine, that kind of did makeup kind of like me. And then I found out how they contoured their nose, and I went with that. I saw like a video of them contouring their nose, and I went with that. I was so glad, because I never thought about doing anything but like lines up and lines down. And if he hadn't done that video that went beyond the contouring of just the straight and straight like even the way I contour, like everyone just says contour straight across. I don't. Like I don't do that anymore. Now I go side, like, because I have a huge forehead. So I thought, oh, of course go over. No, like I found out people with my, like I started noticing people with large forehead, they don't do that. And with my face shape, and oh, it just opened everything up to me. And I'm so glad he did that, to open up my eyes that it's not all the same contour for everybody. You go find somebody that has your face shape. Everyone has a unique shape of anything. Go find out what it is and hire somebody to tell you what your nose shape is, I guess. I wanted to go hire him and be like, what is my nose shape? But I don't think anyone falls into like an exact classic thing. Like I didn't know how to, he's like, if you have a bulbous nose, how am I supposed to know if I have a bulbous nose or not? So like I went out and I started studying, and so now I have a specific contour. But up until that point, I had just been going straight up and down like everyone does on YouTube. And he taught me that that is not actually the way it is for us all. I was really grateful for that. So number 3, mascara wands, dumping the excess on the hands. That changed everything. I used to have this huge problem with mascara dumping on the lower here. Like it would just always, like always, because I sweat a lot. Like I just sweat in I have a trouble with mascara, period. But I finally found that very select numbers of mascara. I do the tubing kind. If you have a problem with mascara melting on you, try the tubing types. There are tubing types, like the number 7 that I use from Target, and like the Stay Perfect. And then there's also a tubing like Power Lash from Clinique. Both of those don't go anywhere on me. But they still, like the excess would knock off. They wouldn't melt off, but the next excess would knock off. But he taught that when you put the mascara on, don't put it all the way to the tips of your lashes. That's the mascara that melts off. And that really changed. I remember when I could still dance. Boy, once I stopped putting it on the tips of my lashes, like that was the end of it. Like it would melt immediately, and it cut back like 90% of the melting off when I stopped putting it on the tips of my lashes. Oh my gosh, what a lifesaver. Okay, so number 3 is, number 4 is dumping the excess. I mixed them too because they're both mascara. Dumping the excess mascara off on the wand, off on your hand. He said in order to prevent like clumping on your lashes, he says, I know this is wasting mascara and some people are going to freak out about it, but just trust me with it. And he said, put the mascara on and dump the excess off on your hand and then put it on. And that changed my life too. Like I always do that. And then I have to like wipe it off with a wiper towel or whatever. And I don't care because I always have a makeup, towel doing stuff. So I just use that same one to wipe it off on my hand. And so I always dump it off on my hand and then I apply it. And the application is like 100 times easier. 100 times easier when I dump it off on my hand, the excess on my hand. The little tube thing never takes off what it needs to. Never. And so I dump off the excess on my hand and then I put it on, and you have such an easier time applying it. Like the application goes on easier. Dear gosh, like life changer. Thank you, Wayne. Okay, and so the final one is concealer. Final one that I haven't talked about yet, because I know I've talked about them. This shirt is just riding up. It's too small to wear yet. I bought this smaller stuff I know I'm going to fit into eventually. And a lot of stuff I've fit into already, but this one I clearly wasn't ready for yet. Oh, well, so that's just the way it is. So concealer, everyone was like, set your under eye with powder to prevent it from creasing. And what I noticed was when I did the powder, I had more creasing and I didn't understand why that was. I was just like, well, what is wrong with me? Like, and then they'd be like, put tons on, like do the baking. And then I'd have more creasing and I just thought I was doing it wrong. And then finally, recently in like the last year or something, he put out a video and he said, there are other alternatives to putting, like, there are a variety of ways of like setting your under eye. And one of them, he said, was just putting the cream underneath. And then when it gets there, dab it out, or set it with a setting spray. And I started doing that, just the cream and then setting spray. And that's just done it for me. Like, thank goodness. Like, I was like, finally, like, no more powder and just the setting spray. Like, if I have a lot of, like, if it's like during the summer or something and things like that, when I'm really, really sweaty or something like that, or really glowy, like right, ladies, we glow like a pig. That's what we'd say in dancing. We don't sweat. We glow like pigs. That's what we'd say. That was a ballroom dancing thing that we'd say. We would dance like till 6 a.m. in the morning, right? And so you'd just get drenched because you'd just be dancing in the summer heat or whatever, and the ACs would break, and you'd just be like, flaw, and stuff. And the men would be like changing their shirt, and we would just be like, oh, we're not sweating. We glow. We're glowing like pigs. That's what we would say. And so, but basically, you know, I glow in the summer, and so then I use the powder because then I wouldn't crease. It would be enough moisture. But like now it's the winter and stuff, so I'm going ahead and just using just the normal cream underneath, and then I spray, and then I do my setting spray, and then that's it. I'm really set. So of course, for me, like, because I have so many, I always have, like, even since I was younger, I have so many, and actually maybe because it's so dry, since the medicine and stuff like that, it's got even more wrinkly underneath here and stuff like that. It's creased a lot more. No, it's always creased. I think when I've done under eye concealer, ever since I've done makeup, it's always creased badly. I've always been like, what the hell is that? And then I learned on YouTube that it's called creasing. I learned so much on YouTube. My mother didn't teach me anything about makeup, so she didn't wear any. So I had to learn. I wasn't even allowed to wear makeup. Oh, things have changed so much. So it used to be such a naughty thing. At least in the family I grew up in. So, all right. So here we go. So the very last thing that I'm grateful for, just a bonus thing, is Emberly. So I can't wear this anymore. And I bought it such a long time ago, but it's from when I used to be able to travel, when my husband and I were actually, you know, when we both had a job and everything like that, and we were able to travel, I was able to get this overseas, and Wayne Goss had recommended it, and I got Emberly's, and it's absolutely amazing. And let me tell you why that is. He used to talk about it all the time. He doesn't talk about it anymore because it's not, you know, YouTube has changed. But it is, and he used to say it so fast, and I used to be like, what is it? Like, what? Slow down. And then finally he did like a video on it or whatever. So it is, let me hold it steady for you so you can actually see it, because everyone screams by it. So that's what it is. I hope you can get it now. I hope you can actually get it in the States or whatever. But why is it so amazing? Let me tell you why it's so amazing. So I don't know if you guys do this, but I do this. And maybe I've told you this already. I don't know. Now I've done so many videos, I can't remember what I've told you and what I haven't. But I actually pause music videos, and I pause like celebrity videos when I'm watching them. If they ever do, like, you know, the music video and they go by their makeup table, or like they're doing their press table and they have their makeup table out. Like when Beyonce did that one thing and she was like, I can't remember the name of it, but she was in it, and everyone was like, what the heck did she do with that music video? But I kind of loved it. I just didn't like it at the end when she was just like, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. And I was like, why are you telling your fans you're better than us? Like, that's not good for sales. But I just was like, as a PR person who advises people on PR all the time, I was like, no, like, that's a change in direction. No. That's why people are asking, why is it crazy? I'm sure if you hadn't done that at the end, people wouldn't be taking it so crazy. Anyway, so there's the bathroom. And then there was the setting, but she had all of her makeup out, if you notice. Like, she does it in a hotel room, and there's all the makeup. You can ask all my friends, like, I paused frame by frame to see what makeup she had on her counter, and was like frame by frame to see like the makeup bottles on her. And I do that in like Bobbi Brown videos and makeup videos. Like, every time a pro has something, I pause and I look to see. And I'm telling you, because there is what they tell you they use. Oh, there's what they tell you. And now they're smarter about it. Now they line it up because they know people are watching, and sometimes they actually scan the table or whatever, stuff like that. But at fashion shows and stuff, they can't. They actually have what they use back there. And this is what they use back there. This will be at the tables, because this thing it's just, it's got so much water in it, and it's got so much of that one thing in it. Oh gosh, it's all in French. Dang it, it's made in France. Yeah, we were in France, and I remember just looking up and being like, what are the things while I'm in France? What are the things I need to get? And now all those things are here, and all the beauty gurus are like, get them. And I was like, I already have them, yay! Like, what do I need? And it was so cheap back then to get in France, and now you can get them here, and they're all expensive, and I can't get them, but that's okay. I just was happy to experience them at least once. I'm very happy about that. I feel very fortunate. So get that if you can afford it. Go ahead and get that. You know, now I use the I'm using it up, but I don't have to, well, I don't apply makeup all that often, it doesn't matter. But when I do use moisturizer, like today, when I did makeup, I used the Clinique, and I love the Clinique. And I actually get the smaller bottle, like I just got some in Thanksgiving, but I got the smallest one that they have, because I'm like, I never, ever use it. Like, I just, like, the last bottle, like, died, and I was just like, why? And they raised their prices. Like, oh my gosh, like I did that video, and then there was like this massive jump, and I'm not going to claim that they are related, but holy cow, there was a huge jump. Like, there was a huge jump in prices. I came back to a counter afterwards because some of my people emailed me, and I went back, and it was just like, what happened to the prices? And they're still extremely good for, like, don't get me wrong, they're still extremely good for skincare. Like, oh my gosh, like, and they're still extremely good. And that is another thing. It's number six in Wayne Goss is, oh, you can see I'm not doing well because I'm kind of swollen. I'm trying to hide it. Number 6 is that Wayne Goss, he did that Clinique video. I was so glad that he did that and was like, it's actually really good stuff. So you can find out who's like, you know, just pushing this narrative that this other stuff isn't good for you, when like it's tried and true for, you know, generations. Clinique is just amazing products. So just don't buy anything at the Christmas sales. Like, all of that stuff is just like they're getting rid of stock. Like when they do major sales at Christmas, just don't do it. All of that is just getting rid of stock. All the Christmas packages and stuff like that, it's all total crap. Like, they mark it all off, and it's hit or miss. Like, one thing will be good in it, and the rest of it is just old, or they're trying to get rid of it, or they combined it together. It will not be like the actual real product that you get. So the sample products and stuff for the rest of the year, great, but the sample, like what you get at Christmas, no. But I'm learning a lot about Christmas sales. Oh, my cats are getting into my fabric. I better go. So those are, I'm glad I got to do a beauty video, and yeah, and I'm so glad I got to do this. This is what I've been wanting to do. Like, when I wrote out ideas for my channel from the very beginning, do you know this video was on there? Like, this was on my original list, like the top 5 things that Wayne Goss has taught me. Like, this was there. This was on that original list. And there are still things I haven't done, but this was on that list, and I'm so glad I got to do it for you guys today. So have a wonderful, wonderful week or weekend. I have no idea when I'll be able to get this up, but I love you guys so much, and I love you. You amazing beauty community gurus. I love you so much, and have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.